Look, I don't know who needs to hear this, but if that man wanted to, he would. And would nothing stop him. If that man wanted to, he would. Because you got two types of men in this world. There's a man who is willing and the man who is minimal. The minimal man is going to make excuses. The willing man is going to make a way. He's going to find a way. He'll ask for help if he has to. It may take him a little bit longer. But if you clearly need something or could use something, whether you say it or not, the willing man is going to figure out how to make your life easier. If it's going to protect you, if it's going to develop you, if it's going to support you, if it's going to put your mind at ease, if it's going to secure you, if it's going to clarify things for you, if it's going to put a smile on your face, if it's going to help you sleep better at night, if it's going to keep you from getting burned out, if the man wants to, I promise you, he will. Let me put this in the chat because I had a brother. I love when brothers watch my stuff and then they get all mad and want to debate me, which I like to be wrong because that's my opportunity to learn. But it's funny how every time I'm calling my brothers to a higher standard, there's a subgroup. There's some guys who get it. There's some men who, hey man, appreciate you drop some real game, man. I appreciate that. But then there are other guys, they just get upset. Dude hit me up, arguing me up and down in the inbox, talking about how there are certain situations where, a woman may want something and it's just not in the man's means. It's just not in the man's da-da-da-da. I totally understand in the literal context that if a man wanted to give you $1 million, he may not be able to snap his fingers and just do that. Okay. But when it comes to genuine effort, and as a woman, you know when a man is really putting forth effort and you know when he's just making excuses. If you need some help financially and that man says he loves you or desires you, wants you, is into you, et cetera, he may not be able to give you $1 million, but he gonna figure out something. Maybe he got to go and borrow something. Maybe he got to pick up an extra job. I used to work, when I used to work fast food back in high school and college, there were dudes who would come around the Christmas season working extra jobs. They already had a main job, but they would do that so they could just get their woman something nice. They already got a full-time job and they'll pick up something with fast food just to add a little bit extra to the budget so they can make their woman smile on Christmas. Like when a man wants to, I promise you, sisters, hear me out. He will. He's not going to give you the soliloquy. He's not going to come up with all of these great debates about what you don't do and you can't have unrealistic expectations again. Don't think so literal. Because if a man wants to create 25 hours in a day, you know he can't do that. But what he will do is carve out more time in that 24 hours if you're needing more quality time from him. Like when you find yourself asking for effort, for assertiveness, for him to not have to be told every little thing, you already with a man that's minimal. There are two types of men. Y'all, if you don't hear nothing else, I need y'all to hear this. There's the willing man and there's the minimal man. And by minimal, I mean bare minimum. Let's just go with that. The willing man does not attach a price tag to the things that you need from him. He sees your value and he knows it doesn't need a price tag. What that means is he's not sitting there keeping score about what you're going to do for him or how much does it cost. Like if you need a certain effort from him, it's not how much it's going to cost. It is the moment that you need it. That's the threshold. I'm going to do what I got to do to make it happen or move the needle towards that thing. I'm going to progress us forward towards what it is that she needs because that's what I'm here for in her life. We have our purpose. And any man with any common sense understands that a properly loved woman becomes 10 times the woman that she was before. So now I got to make sure I properly love her. And let me also be very clear. You're not going to have to tell him every little thing. There's going to be a learning curve for any man that comes into your life to, understand you, kind of flow you on, what your love language is, all of those things. But a willing man is going to look to anticipate your needs, ways to make your life easier, ways to make you more comfortable, ways to keep you more at peace. He's going to want to anticipate those things without having to be asked. He's going to take initiative, both big moments and just the daily routines. The bare minimum man is always going to look at how hard it's going to be, what's it going to cost. He's only going to do it if you're doing something in exchange directly with him. He's only going to do it when it's convenient. Or, again, there's some kind of clear thing that he gets back in return. But when a man truly cares about you, like say you having a hectic week You know, you all over the place. A man will realize, oh, she ain't hardly eating like she supposed to. She only eating twice a day, once a day. Let me go ahead and meal prep for her a little bit. Before you get to your point of breaking. Before you get to that point. Meanwhile, the bare minimum man, he's going to wait till you get to that breaking point and already complain. You might be already at your breaking point, past your breaking point. He's still going to act like he don't know what you need until you speak up and say something. And believe it or not, there are some men who say, well, what's wrong with that? Like, you gotta open up your mouth. 2 years into the relationship, you still having to say the exact same things you were saying 2 months into the relationship. That means that man has not been paying you any kind of attention. And he'll only do it if you're willing to go out your way and say, come on, man. Please understand something. If you sitting there telling that man every little thing all throughout the relationship, you can do a whole lot better. Because the man that's willing, he's going to speak the language of initiative, not explicit instruction, not just explicit instruction. The man who is willing is going to take initiative. He's going to voluntarily, like, it's some things that don't even mean as much if it's like, damn, here. If that's the energy that you get from a man, y'all correct me if I'm wrong. If the man does something from you, it's like, here, dang, here, take it. You want it here. Here are the flowers, here. Here's the ring on your finger. Here, dang, take it. You want me to clean? Oh, okay, I'll do it. It don't even mean as much. Like, you don't even want it. The willing man is going to take initiative. Why? Because it's a privilege to love you. These are ways to love you. You see, when somebody sees it as a chore, of course you're going to wait. Of course you're going to procrastinate. Of course you're going to act like it's the worst thing in the world. You got everything else to do. But you see something as a privilege, don't you jump up for a privilege? If you got a prize to go get, don't you jump up to go get that prize? Ain't you trying to ask questions where it's at? Somebody let you know there's a prize somewhere. There's something you won. You ain't got to procrastinate and wait and get threatened and guilt tripped or anything like that. The willing man treats your love like a privilege to be able to deliver to you, to reciprocate to you. The bare minimum man is going to need you to always give all this instruction, to basically use all this energy up, telling him the same old thing over and over and over again. Man come over your house and he see, that shower head could be flowing a little bit better. He should be already looking at, okay, I'm going to go to Home Depot. I'm going to go to Lowe's and get her a new shower head, man. He see the trash more than half full. Let me go ahead and get that. Let me go ahead and take care of that for her. 1 or 2 bulbs out. And he on his 5th, 6th visit and he seen them same bulbs out, or he hear that same fire alarm beeping because the battery need changing. The bare minimum man is going to act like he don't see none of that. The willing man is going to say, okay, I can make her life easier. It don't cost me $1 million to change out a light bulb. It don't cost me no kind of money to take out the garbage. It don't cost me nothing. A little shower head might be like $20, $30. Let's just say he on the budget right now, But he's going to find ways on his own. And also, the willing man doesn't need an audience. That's why I was telling this brother, like, man, look, because the dude, I'm not even going to put him out. The dude telling me, man, I did this, I did that, and all of these different social media gestures. Talking about for a woman that he didn't show up for, but whenever it was an audience there, now he did the most now. I ain't going to lie. I talked to him a good bit. He had some really nice gestures he put on for social media. The willing man doesn't need an audience. All he needs is an audience of one, you. And half the time, he don't even need that. There are a lot of things a willing man is going to do in the background without even making it known that he did it, just because he knows it's going to make your life easier. He ain't going to always tell you whenever he put gas in your tank. He ain't always going to tell you maybe even whenever he vacuumed out the car, because you ain't been having no time to do it, or put air in the tires or something like that. He ain't always going to tell you. He ain't going to announce it every single time that he do something. Meanwhile, the bare minimum man, when in private moments, he's absent. In private moments, it felt like, hold on, what happened to all of that energy whenever we was around my mom and we was around everybody else? So you saw other guys looking at me and you wanted to put on and make it clear that you got money or whatever. Where's all that energy at? Where's all that energy at? And the dude was telling me again, now it's funny because I could tell he one of them that watched the masterclass. I did a masterclass on secrets to attracting alpha males only. And I'm like, okay, maybe because I put it in the alpha males, he thought, this is for me, but I could tell he ain't watched nothing. So after the masterclass, he submits his question. And again, I answer all the questions I can. If you watch my masterclasses to the end, there's a Q&A. I answer all of the questions. And he was like, well, what if a man just ain't used to doing this? What if a man ain't never seen this before? What if he's never, seen a healthy relationship where a man did these things before? And I could tell he's just looking for another out, another excuse. I was like, brother, you never seen a man be a millionaire. Growing up, you never seen a self-made millionaire. More than likely anyway. Some guys have. He hasn't. I was like, but you're still pursuing getting to $1 million, right? You're still trying to be successful financially, right? You never seen that before. Don't make excuses about your comfort zone. Because when a man is truly willing and wanting and will do, he will expand his comfort zone to include your peace of mind. He will expand his comfort zone to account for your peace of mind, your wellness, your best interest. Ain't no, this is my comfort zone and it's set in stone. No, now my comfort zone includes, let me tell you something. If you were a man that truly loves you and something happens on your way to work, or maybe you're afraid, maybe you when you get out the car to go into work or to get off work, something has you shaken up. The man who truly cares about you will change his whole schedule. Ain't no comfort zone, because ain't no comfort if you're uncomfortable. So now the schedule is going to include making sure that you get to and from work safely. He'll walk you to work, make sure you get in, come back, make sure that you got from work, whatever it takes. He'll change his comfort zone to keep the woman that he loves comfortable. You see, when a man start talking all that, well, I never seen, I just never been on this. I never did. Whoa, he's talking to comfort zone. What kind of man truly loves you if he's comfortable with his woman being distressed, being burnt out, being afraid, being unclear, uncertain about where she stands in his life? What kind of man is that? The bare minimum man. The bare minimum man. He's going to be rigid in what he's already done because his comfort comes before your comfort. His comfort comes before his commitment to you. So if it ain't falling within those lines, he ain't trying to do it. Another thing about a man who wants to, and again, somebody said, what's the topic? If he wants to, he will. And I also got to be very intentional about how I say this because truly we're talking about an alpha male. And there are some guys who are simply not that. They're not built like that. They're not cut from that cloth. So in that situation, a man could want to, but even when it comes to that, if he wanted to, he would evolve into an alpha male so that he could translate these good intentions that he might have into consistent action. But back to what I was saying, when an alpha male wants to, he will. And that includes how he goes about preventing issues as opposed to damage control after the issue has already gotten out of control. That's how a willing man operates. I'm going to go by prevention. I'm not waiting until you 1 foot out the door. I'm not waiting until you leave. I'm not waiting until you are depleted and can't take no more. The man who wants to will prevent the issue. Especially in its baby stages, not till it's already stopping, y'all from having sex or messing up the peace in the home. No, the moment that you say something's wrong or signal something's wrong non-verbally, the man who wants to is going to proactively address anything that could potentially cause distance between the two of you. He's going to plan ahead, as opposed to the bare minimum man who's only going to wait until they've impacted you in a way that prevents you from doing the things that he likes from you. You see, a lot of bare minimum men, they don't really care so long as you still showing up for them sexually, food, being nice, not nagging. They don't even care. Some guys, and I'm talking about bare minimum men, even prefer when you're not okay because now they ain't got to hear you voicing your needs and desires and the fact that you upset so much. I hate to say it like that, but that's what it is. Y'all be sitting there trying to push and pull and motivate and inspire these men to be men. And that includes the time that he makes to do all of these things. If you get a man that's talking about all of these good intentions, but he ain't never got no time, If he wanted to, he would. I'm not saying a man can't be busy. Let me be very clear. I'm not saying that man can't have a lot going on, or right here in this season of his life, he got obligations and he got some things he got to sort out. You know, it's a survival mode. His back is to the wall. I'm not saying that. So absolutely give some grace. But if you notice there's a consistent pattern of that man being all talk in terms of what he wants to do, but he only does those things when it's convenient for him, there's never enough time. There's always something else. His calendar is going to reflect his commitment. What that man is committed to is going to be on his calendar. If he's committed to scrolling on social media all day, watching fight videos or twerk videos or looking at baddies on Instagram or whatever, that's what you're going to see on his calendar. Even if he don't put it there in advance. His calendar is going to reflect his commitment. If he just got to work out, or if he just got to hang out, or if he just got to go to the clubs, if he just got to, chill with his boys, smoke weed, drink, gamble, whatever, if he just got to play Call of Duty, NBA 2K, I promise you it's going to be on his calendar. That's going to have room. A man's calendar reflects his commitment. Don't take any other gaslighting excuse about how busy he is. I'm not talking about now something that happened at work or he got a business opportunity. Please don't sit there and bust that man's balls if for the next 2 weeks he got to put his head down and just grind. But you 6 months in of feeling like a last priority, a year in of feeling like a last priority, and he ain't making no kind of time for you. And it's not because you're not in a serious relationship with him yet. The willing man on day one is going to follow through. He ain't going to know everything that you need, but he's going to be following through. He's going to treat the serious relationship with the same amount of priority and care that he treats the courting phase. And again, it requires a man to be an alpha male. And if he wanted to evolve into that alpha male and walk according to what he's really capable of, he would. This is why I did the masterclass about how to attract alpha males, because a lot of this stuff y'all are asking for. You can't ask for a gallon worth of love and contribution from a man who's only a pint. But if he wanted to increase his capacity, he would. So we're not talking about just the literal execution of a thing that you ask and he immediately does it. But if he can't do that, he can do something. If he can't do something, he can give you a definitive timeline for what it's going to take and how long it's going to take for him to get to where he can do that something, and he's going to hold to it. He can be accountable if he misses the mark. There's always a genuine effort that man can put forth. And this ain't just for dating. Am I making sense to anybody? Y'all with me? I need y'all to stay through to the end because I really want to talk about something serious when it comes to family. Don't let me forget that. Make sure you watch through to the end. Because in dating, it's one thing. You're a little bit more detached in the dating phase. You can kind of peek what's what and move out his way if it ain't. But sometimes it's hard when that attachment get there. But if you notice that the emotional labor is always on you, even if you're telling this man, I need more from you, and it's just, well, I'm the man, a man got to do this, and the man got to do all these excuses, that is a bare minimum man. The willing man is going to step into whatever role is necessary to shoulder the emotional labor for the family to function. If it's just making sure the kids have what they need, or for their emotional development, for quality time with them, for their mental health, the baby diaper need change. The kids, the schoolwork need checking behind. Waking them up for school. Getting them to bed. Making sure their hygiene is straight. Making sure they stand on top of whatever the chores that they got going on. And it not just be on you. Especially if he sees that you are you're being burnt out and you're being stretched thin because you still working and you still do. Maybe you're not working and you at home and you just tired. Because being a full-time mom ain't no joke. Being a full-time parent ain't no joke. I think we think women just supposed to just, oh, she ain't working. Look, you take care of multiple kids in the house and you got to keep up everything in that house. You the CEO of the family. That's a whole nother conversation. But when a man really wants to, again, don't look for perfection. Look for progress. He's going to put forth a genuine effort every single time if he wants to. That's what all of the childhood traumas he might have. That's what all of the limitations and money he ain't got right now. It may take him more time. It may take him a few extra steps. He may get it wrong before he gets it right, but you're going to see a genuine effort. With a man who truly wants to, you ain't got to ask too many questions about the future. And the blueprint ain't going to need all of these revisions. You ain't going to need to constantly revise the blue. He's going to be seeing through whatever that plan is. Now with some adjustments, but you're not going to need constant revisions. You're not going to constantly need to think things ahead at one way and then always have to take a detour or wait or whatever. No, you're going to see a consistent commitment all the way through. If he wanted to, he would. A work is trying to move him over here, move him over there. Work ain't paying as much as he used to. You're going to see this man trying to develop a whole new skill so he can be more independent and maintain whatever the vision was for the family that he first communicated to you. It's going to be something that he's going to do. Because he's going to take equal ownership of life planning and the family vision. Meanwhile, a bare minimum man, he's going to treat major life decisions as like your department. Like that's what you do. I think it's funny how we talk about, women like to turn their mind off around a man. But at home, I don't think we realize that a lot of men turn their mind off too. A lot of men turn their mind off at home and it's all on a woman to plan everything, to know everything, to make sure the kids is registered for school this coming year. But if that's something that's really heavy on you and tough on you, the man who wants to, he will step in and he will make sure that you know that you got a partner. You got a partner, not just a backseat passenger. And the last thing I wanted to cover, like I said, I need everybody to understand this. How a man treats you when you're at your most vulnerable state will tell you everything you need to know about him. How a man treats you when you can't do what you normally would do for him because there's something literally hindering you. Health issues, grief of a lost loved one, pregnancy. And I need every man to understand this too. A woman will never forget how you treated her when she was pregnant. A woman will never forget how you treated her when she needed you the most. A woman will never forget how you treated her when she was at her lowest, when she was her most fragile. Whatever the situation may be, the woman in your life will never, ever, ever forget. She may forgive you, but the only thing she's going to forget is whatever trust and respect that she originally had for you. That's gone. That's gone. The man who wants to is going to drop everything and make sure you got what you need. Outside of things that literally compromise your survival, the man who wants to is going to drop everything and make sure that you know you're not in whatever that situation is alone. Even if he can't just fix everything, he's going to make sure you know you're not in this alone. The man who is a bare minimum dude, when you need him most, is when he's going to disrespect you, when he's going to neglect you. That's when he's going to make you feel guilty for not being your normal self, your best self. Vicky, you said he was never there when your mom nearly passed away. That showed you everything you needed to know about that man. He'll try to make you feel like you're the problem for disrupting his normal schedule when you need him the most. Especially in a family emergency. And this why it's like you don't want to get to this point just to now realize who it is that you're dealing with. It's so important that you weed out men who don't even have the capacity to show up because they have not yet evolved to the version of themselves that ever could show up in a healthy relationship for a woman who is growth oriented. Now, the way that you do that is you make sure you not only have, but know how to exude the 7 qualities that alpha males crave. You see, there are some men who are thirsty for anything that just look good or whatever. But alpha males are very particular on who they show romantic interest to because they go so hard from the dating and courting phase on to serious relationship and marriage. And if you have those 7 qualities, alpha males are not going to be able to get enough of you. Y'all be like, where are they at? They will come and find you. I got testimonies on testimonies, thousands, especially those who watch my masterclass. The secrets to attracting alpha males only. Flip the switch. If you want access to that, I put the link down here in the comments. Secrets to attracting alpha males only. That's a free class. You don't have to pay for that. That's free. Because the starting point is first, what has that man built up within himself to be able to show up for you? Not just how well he's going to do a thing, but is he the person that can do anything? The link is also in the caption, by the way. If y'all not seeing it down here in the comments, I try to put it where it's plain and clear. Register for that so that you get the link sent to your email by the time we get done here. Moral of the story is, if a man wanted to, he would. I understand we trying to be all woke and emotionally empathetic and aware of what a man might be going through. Y'all, I'm a man. I appreciate that. I love that. But I can tell you something. Good, bad, up, down, money, no money, etc., etc. If I want to, I will. If a man wants to, he will. Find a way. Make the sacrifices, make the investment, spend the time, make the effort, maybe even fail at first until he gets it right. You're going to see something from that man if he wants to. That's the one. You cannot create free will in that man. He already got it. So if he's not applying it to progress in the relationship, that's the thing that you need to remove yourself from. Any kind of relationship with him, friendship, etc. If a man cannot be consistent in your life, you need to make him absent from your life. Those are just my thoughts, though. But if you agree, hit the share button. Hit the share button if you agree with anything that I said. If you find anything that I said here to be facts, to be true, all I ask is that you spread it. I ain't asking y'all to pay for this. I do this for free. But I do ask that you pay it forward so somebody else on your timeline can get blessed by this as well. And if you want the 7 qualities that alpha males look for in a woman that will make them literally crave you, I gave them away for free. The link is right here in the comments if you want to get those.